Planned Parenthood says that only 3% of all Planned Parenthood health services are abortion services. Makes abortion seem pretty rare for Planned Parenthood, doesn't it? Here's Planned Parenthood's annual report from 2012 to 2013. This pie chart represents every single service Planned Parenthood performed during that year, and this slice of the pie represents the number of abortion services they provided in comparison to all the procedures they performed. And this clearly shows that abortion services were only 3% of the total pie, right? So then why are pro-life groups claiming that this 3% number is misleading? What's their problem? Imagine you are trying to determine how popular cheeseburgers are compared to chicken nuggets at a fast food restaurant. Let's assume that every meal sold consists of an entree, a cookie, fries, and a drink. The choices for an entree are either a cheeseburger or chicken nuggets. If this restaurant sold 100 meals in a year, and half of those meals were cheeseburger meals, you can't say that cheeseburgers sold more than chicken nuggets. In fact, 50% of all meals sold were cheeseburger meals. Let's call this the entree model. But if you had something against cheeseburgers and wanted to make it look like you sold very few cheeseburgers, you can compare it to all the food items sold. Let's call this the bias model. Since each meal contains 4 food items, an entree, fries, cookie, and drink, the total number of food items sold in 100 meals was 400. And since only half of the 100 meals had cheeseburgers, only 50, or 12.5% of those 400 food items were cheeseburgers. Which makes cheeseburgers look like it sells more, 12.5% or 50%? By adding in the side dishes and drinks, the bias model ends up intentionally watering down the stats of how many cheeseburgers were sold. Clever, isn't it? So if Planned Parenthood's 3% number is out of context, then what is a more accurate number? Planned Parenthood says abortion care was only 3% of its services. 327,166 abortions out of a total of 10,933,675 services provided in the 2012-2013 operating year. Here's their bias model math. Sounds pretty good, doesn't it? Well, former Planned Parenthood employees and even Planned Parenthood's own annual report tell us that each Planned Parenthood customer receives multiple services when they visit. One customer who goes into a Planned Parenthood for birth control will be considered at least 12 services, since she is given a prescription for a year's worth of birth control packs. If we go back to Planned Parenthood's annual report and look at the services that are only specific to pregnant women, taking out pregnancy tests, contraceptives, and others, we only have left adoption referrals to other agencies, prenatal services, and abortion services. These total to 348,869 services performed that are specific to pregnancy, and 327,166 were abortions. So what percentage of these pregnancy services were abortion services? A whopping 93.78%. If 1,000 pregnant women walked into Planned Parenthood, 938 women will have an abortion, and 62 will give birth to a child. So this means that 93.78% of all pregnant women who walk in will leave without their child.